Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 12 of History 311 Online. Our topic this week is Birth of a Cold War, 1945 to 1955. For many students who are now in college, at least those in their mid to late 20s or younger, the Cold War is truly a subject from history, having been born as they were after the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 and the breakup of the Soviet Union soon after. For many of their professors, on the other hand, including yours truly, the Cold War is a recent event that overlaps significantly with our lives and upbringing. We remember events first person, such as the 1972 or 1980 Olympic Games, when Cold War sports and global politics combined. Or remember when famous Russian artists like the dancer Mikhail Baryshnikov defected to the United States under a cloud of secrecy. Today we would just say that someone simply moved to another country, but in the Cold War it was defecting. But whether it is learned from history books and movies or archived in personal memory, the Cold War continues to cast its shadow into the 21st century, especially as relations between the US and Russia, the two Cold War superpowers, remain conflicted and often tense. Despite what the name suggests, the Cold War was never just a single event or even an actual war, but rather it was a 5-decade freeze in international relations between the communist and non-communist worlds, especially Russia, or more accurately, as it was known then, the Soviet Union, and the United States, but also their allies as well, spread around the world and across continents. Complicating matters was the fact that China, the world's most populous nation, also had its communist revolution, though it remained outside the Soviet bloc and often charted its own course independent of the Soviets. And those countries that refused to line up on either side, they constituted a so-called third world of states and countries and peoples spread across Africa, South Asia, and Central and South America. These states often found themselves to be unwilling pawns in the global conflicts and contests between communism and non-communism, between the Soviet Union and the United States. The battlefields of the Cold War were sometimes actual military battlefields, as in Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan, for example, while at other times the battles were cultural and played out in venues as diverse as the Olympic Games or the World Chess Championships. In addition to our usual reading assignment in Foner's Give Me Liberty, we'll begin reading our assigned novel this week, Kurt Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse-Five. Generally considered one of the classic American novels of the post-World War II era, Vonnegut's absurdist tale of a traumatized World War II veteran who keeps coming unstuck in time blends satire and science fiction in a scathing critique of Cold War American commercialism, materialism, and bland middle-class conformity. I've provided you with a chapter-by-chapter study guide to the novel, as well as a lecture that integrates Vonnegut's work into the fabric of America's Cold War past. Down the road, in a couple of weeks, you'll complete a historical document analysis assignment based on Slaughterhouse-Five. This week, you'll complete your 4th discussion board assignment. You'll be asked to evaluate whether the famous anti-communist crusade of Senator Joseph McCarthy was fair or unfair. And as always, you'll base your post on the materials assigned, including lecture, textbook reading, and several clips I provided showing McCarthy in action. As always, I appreciate your patience in waiting for work to be graded, and I will be adding scores throughout the next week. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. Have a great week, everyone.